Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today, Stacey and I shall be discussing the family business on BET and BET Plus, where you get the uncensored version with all the language and relatively other stuff by Carl Weber. This is a TV show based on the book series. My wife is familiar with the books, and for the record, she loved the theme song. She went so far to say that it is better than Big Rich Town. What are your thoughts?
I wouldn't take it that far.
I would not take it that far either. But every time that came on, she was like,
It's catchy, but no.
It ain't no Big Rich Town. Like, it's catchy. It ain't no Big Rich Town. Let's put this shit in perspective, okay? But will it be on the spinoffs? No. I don't know. I don't know the family business guy. Maybe Paris will get her own spinoff.
So the Tatas are looking for a new connect or whatever, and then here comes the Duncan.
By far, they're the biggest goddamn drug dealers in New York City.
Yeah,
but nobody knows it because nobody does any basic ass research.
Oh,
but
they sell cars, right?
Right. Which you see none of that in season 2. Like, they totally forgot about that part of the business. Anyway, this is a story about 3 generations of gangsters and drug dealers. Well, really drug dealers, not really gangsters. They're drug dealers who do violent stuff when necessary. That live in one big ass house, kind of like Greenleaf, which is not a good idea. Let's just start there. But then you got the head of the families, which is LC and his wife Charlotte. They are the head of this big huge family, and at the bottom, at the youngest generation, is Nevada.
Mariah is the other grandbaby, and then I forgot the other baby's name.
Mariah, it's another M, but they're not named after cities or states. But the women don't matter. That's really what this, like, one of the other problems I have with this show is it's very misogynistic.
It doesn't matter.
And in the leadership level of this family, they do not matter. Like the men make decisions. Like they're the ones. Mama Chippy gets to open her mouth every once in a while, and she does some shit when it comes to the women. But Daddy, Orlando, and the men are the ones that do most of the decision making.
Okay, but the women are kind of like enforcers almost.
Oh yeah, they certainly are the supposed trained killers, and we'll get into that too. But LC, he's grooming Nevada to be the next everything. He's the one that he takes to places. He's the ones that get the cars. His granddaughters, he does very little with. I mean, he sits there and taps them on the head, and he keeps it moving. But grandson, he's like, this is where you need to be. He holds them up and some Lion King shit. Like, this will be your kingdom when it's all said and done. But this is a fantastic show. Like, I gotta say, the production quality got much better from the pilot, where Orlando and Junior, one of many times, beats up whatever random man Paris is trying to give the draws to. Like it's the men's fault when it's really Paris's fault. And the beating that they put on this man was, and Uncle Lou was there, and the beating they put on this man was so fake, choreographed, sound effects. It shouldn't even have happened. They should just pointed their finger at him sternly and say, "Do not touch our sister/niece again, or there will be consequences," and him run away, because it was terrible, absolutely terrible. The sound went out for no damn reason. Like, you could tell, right? Did you go back and see it? What I'm talking about?
I was
in the middle.
You really hear it, like when you wear headphones or whatever. It just like cuts, and then it starts, and it cuts, and it was like, wait, yeah.
It's almost like they were like, okay, guys, we got to turn to the next scene, like the next angle, camera angle. So they had to cut the sound to turn to the next camera angle, and they forgot to sync the sound. So they're like, stop. Okay, guys, so we got to talk about this. All right, okay, we got to talk about this. Okay, Stacey, let's do this. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, get your shit together. Like try. And then, but anyway, by season 2, it was good. I mean, once they got the BET Plus, they were doing all right.
That little $9.99, it has gone somewhere.
And then the plus was necessary because this show, to a much greater degree than Have the Have-Nots, for some reason, the writers consistently put in foul language that they had to know BET was not going to let them actually air. So Paris's filthy tirade, and in the police station in the first episode, in the first 5 minutes of this show, half of it is bleeped out. You have no idea. So I'm like, this is stupid. And then most of the first season is like that. People are just like, F this and F that and this. And I'm like, you hear none of that. Why do you write it knowing you can't present it the way it is? This is not some rated R movie that you put up.
Since it's based on the book, I'm sure they just kind of followed whatever the book had, and that's that.
No. Everything. I don't know. I know, but it was stupid. Like once they got to season 2 and the swearing was allowed because now they own the plus, it was fine. But like first, it was just distracting. One of many things that was distracting to me about season 1. But anyway, what do we got? So season 1, the Duncans are mild-mannered car dealers, exotic cars, very expensive high-end luxury car dealers who you happen apparently to be drug dealers, which they put in the cars. I guess that's how they get the drugs from point A to point B. They are betrayed by their Italian counterparts, which they quickly dispatch, also dealing with some political enemies. It was a very understandable set of threats that they had to deal with, okay? Because, quote, they had to deal with the Italians, the blacks, the Jews, the Asians, and then everybody else. And I'm like, so. So in first season, they deal with the Italians and the Mexicans because they got to deal with the Mexican cartel.
Mm-hmm.
And these are real threats. But season 2, they're dealing with Tretch from Naughty by Nature.
I did not understand that.
They spent 12 episodes fighting Tretch from Naughty by Nature.
And they still didn't get him.
And they still couldn't catch this motherfucker. This dude had like maybe 6 hardcore dudes, like 6. And they still couldn't take this team out.
So how did he fly to Alabama and drove back to New York?
No, he killed old girl in Alabama. She was there in Alabama. I think Donna Duncan, played by Lisa Ray McCoy, she was in Alabama, and I think London and the girls were there too.
So when they said, okay, he's flying to Birmingham, it didn't register that, the girls are in
Alabama?
Should we be concerned?
I guess not. I mean, Harris, he didn't put it together, but he was talking to London saying, bring the girls back, and she was like, absolutely not. I'm assuming, because we didn't see them in the season finale. I'm assuming that London and the girls were also there with Donna. I'm assuming that. But at this point, I gotta believe that Donna is in Alabama because they showed you the license plate of the UPS truck.
He flew there and drove back, and I was like, that doesn't make
any damn sense.
And he's a fugitive. How he get on the plane?
Because he had the fake ID, because they don't have DHS screenings in this universe. So like he just got on the plane, and somehow the Duncans, with all their political connections, made no effort to put this man on the no-fly list. Which he should have been anyway, because he's an escaped fugitive. Harris shouldn't have to have a gay bisexual threesome to get the cops to go after him because he's already a fugitive. What is going on? Like, that was completely unnecessary. I mean, I'm glad we didn't have to see it, but we still saw it, and I'm like, this shouldn't even happen because it didn't make any sense. No. And you don't send the gay Rio. The one time you can use a gay man to do some gay stuff, like, no, I'm gonna send Harris. Did the cop particularly want Harris? Was he like, hey, that's the kind of man I need to touch when I'm doing a black woman? I guess he wanted a sandwich, like an ice cream sandwich. He should have said that. I always wanted to be the vanilla filling in an ice cream sandwich or something. Then I would have been like, oh, okay, I get how this is supposed to work, whatever. And then I'm like, okay. So Harris is on one end, the black prostitute's on the other one, and I was like, okay, I get it. I wouldn't see it, but I understand the visuals. I get it. There's a lot of things going on. What was your favorite part of the first season? What do you think the first season?
first season. So I guess the Mexicans, right? So Paris is screwing Miguel or raping.
There you go. There you go.
Okay,
There
my
you go.
bad. I thought they hooked up before, but I didn't
No,
remember.
no, no, no. She did. So she had she forced herself. She had consensual sex with him after Father Duncan's told to Miguel specifically, "Do not look or touch my daughter."
She was out by the pool doing all this.
She's always doing all this.
I'm like,
Like, what happened in your childhood that you need this much attention?
that's what
Like,
they learned in mercenary school.
so when she went to the Hogwarts School of Assassination in Hoenn, like I need to know what happened to her, because once we meet Sasha, Sasha is a recognized like nymphomaniac until she gets kidnapped by the Muslims and she learns.
She survived. I was sitting there like, okay, she says she has to masturbate 10 times a day. Now she's handcuffed 24/7. Like, how is she coping with
You
this?
can still masturbate. I'm not sure. I mean,
What?
with your hands. What do you mean with
She
what?
was cuffed.
You still got your fingers. I mean, it can't be done. I mean, that's not. I mean, I wouldn't go there. I'm just saying. I'm just like, I'm surprised she didn't try to hump her way out the situation. Is what I'm saying. I mean, she did. I mean, she like mind fucked Elijah. I
Yeah.
mean, clearly.
Mhm.
But my point is, Sasha, when she is brought into the show, she acknowledges her sexual problems, right? Paris, on the other hand, clearly has something of a similar nature going on, and this is not acknowledged. Because from episode 1, she's just constantly having sex with men. It's the attention issue. I think she enjoys the male attention, but she also likes the idea that her brothers and family are going to come and attack these dudes. Like, she enjoys the idea of getting these men beat up, which is a whole other problem she got going on. But it consistently happens. Any man that gets close to this woman in any way, shape, or form is getting his ass whooped. Like,
Except for Niles. Nobody learned about Niles or figured out what Niles was up to.
she didn't even know who Niles was and what he was up to. He's a hit. That's another thing. People in this world of drug dealing and assassinations and stuff do not do basic research on the people they're having sex with or people they're trying to kill. They are meetings. So like that. Okay, anyway. So first season, Harris, this weasel Joanna Man, really. So the actor who played Joanna Man is now a lawyer of this family. He's married to London, one of the many sisters who's kids named after places, who apparently also was some kind of former assassin, badass, which she shows you when she's not dealing with Harris, who is beating her on a regular basis.
That's what I did.
They got Joanna Man to be the man who's beating this poor woman, played by Tammy from the Real World. And I was like, when they all live in the same, let's just back. So the fact that all these people live in the same house, not Tammy. So London and Harris live in the same house with their with her parents, and Junior, who is very protective of Paris. Like they make no bones about it. Anybody trying to fuck Paris when she wants it will get their ass whooped. But their daughter and sister, respectively, who's getting beat by her husband, they do nothing about it.
Mm-mm.
She does nothing about it. When again,
She smacked him back and she put a gun on him and theoretically tried to poison him, I guess.
or threatened to put it in his head that she might do it. Because that's when he was scared, was like, I can't eat this and I can't eat that. I'm like, this weasel is hurting your daughter. You know, like why is none of the parents or anyone else trying to do anything about this? But then she shoots the guy who ends up. These people's sexual partners end up being problems for this family. This is a consistent theme in this show.
Consistent theme on most crime shows.
But like
or any woman that Jack Bauer had sex with ended up dead. Power, all their partners ended up dead. This show, same thing.
There were problems for the partners. In this show, the partners are problems for them. That's what I'm saying. Like, so let's go. So let's go to Paris. Paris has sex with Miguel. You know, a guy who's supposed to be negotiating a huge drug deal between between the family and the Mexican cartel. Okay, Paris rapes this dude when he's tied to a bed because their families are beefing. They're at fucking war. They're always a fucking war. But anyway, so the families are beefing. That's gonna be season 3. They are prepared. And the Mexican dude got on boots in this show. Mexicans be kicking ass in this show. But I was like, anyway, so Miguel is tied to the bed. Paris comes in like she needs she needs this penis. Like, so she comes in, takes off her clothes, just jumps on this dude, has sex with this dude. That's called rape. Let's just get that out there. Then he gets away. He knocks her down because he's been getting tortured for a couple of days and he got raped. So then he's like, I gotta get out of here. She kills him. And this starts all the other problems. Okay. So then his mother, Consuela, which is a very stereotypical Latino name, but Consuela finds out her son is dead. She organizes a meeting with a Orlando. She makes no effort to confirm what Orlando looks like. She don't look him up on the internet. She don't have her other drug crew look this dude up. So when a random ass light-skinned dude shows up and says, hey, I'm Orlando, she's like, okay, takes him for his word and shoots him. She shoots the wrong Duncan. That's the light-skinned dude from CSI, which is dead, and he's gone. When he's not like conning old women out of their money. Anyway, he dead. The real Orlando is sitting there all quiet, like, oh shit, and then he gets taken hostage. Consuela, huh?
Because he's the chemist that produces heat.
The heat. So in this show, when Orlando makes heat, there is no reason. I thought it was going to be they were cut off from the drug supply because the Asians cut them off from the drug supply. So then they had to make their own drug. But it's like he's just like, hey, Dad, I just came up with this cool idea of making my own drug.
He said he'd been working on it for 5 years.
But it's like there was no talk of like we need to make our own thing, like we need to go our own direction. He just kind of shows up and he had to spend millions of dollars to doing this. It wasn't like he would just sit in his basement. Like when he's not sleeping with prostitutes, he's making his own drugs. So then, anyway, Consuela, let's just stay consistent. So then Consuela, trying to avenge her dead son Miguel, goes on a bloodthirsty revenge to kill everybody she can, including her own family, to get to the Duncans. All right, just to find out that one of the youngest Duncan is her own child.
Mm-hmm.
And that saves the day. They're like, well, shit happens. And now she's just a part of the family by season 2, episode 1. Mm-hmm. Coming over for Sunday dinner and shit.
So Consuela in Vegas somehow ended up in the desert running from somebody that we still don't know. And through that, they bonded and had sex.
So then Stacy, being the expert researcher that she is, came up with the obvious fact that no one points out, that like Consuela's story is she was young, dumb, ended up with a baby. She was already married. She didn't know what to do. So she went on some kind of she went to a commune, dropped off the baby, then went back to her husband to live her life. But what's the problem with that is?
She already at least had a 5-year-old at that point.
Named Miguel.
Minimum 5, because that kid is at least 5 to 10 years younger than Miguel.
Yeah, because he's the same. He was when he was alive, the same age as Paris. Let's just say 21. Let's just say he's 20. He had to be probably near 25, 26, but at least 21, right? Mm-hmm. So she already had a kid, so she understands what it means to have a baby, to be a mother. So she kept one son and just dropped off another and made no effort to go back and check on this kid.
Yeah. Because I had to go back and be like, wait a minute. Because I was thinking maybe Miguel was Alejandro's son, but not her son.
No. That was her blood. Hence why she was trying to kill everybody. Mm-hmm. So then she continually cheats on her husband, Alejandro, who's her real husband in real life, which I didn't know. Terry told me that. My wife told me that.
Yeah.
That's his real, she said that's his real wife. So I thought that was cool. Anyway, she ends up sleeping with her
Nephew.
her nephew, but they make it, but they go through this whole dialogue, so you realize that it's not blood nephew, is nephew by marriage, like some bad porn right there. But it was like, this is my husband's brother's daughter's son, some crazy shit like that. But anyway, she's like, I'm not having sex with my family member, like by blood. But then that kid, her lover, is a secret assassin who's sleeping with Sasha Duncan, which is hard to keep track of all these light-skinned lovers. Like, I'm like, who is who and what? Because they don't last very long, and I get confused. But Sasha Duncan, you find out, is the cousins of the Duncans. She's the daughter of Uncle Lou, the brother of LC, right? So then she's hired to kill her lover. We never find out who hired her to kill the lover. We assume it's because the lover was trying to kill the Duncans, but that's never proven at all.
No, I think it was because of he tried to take over the cartel.
It never got proven though. We still don't know.
That's my assumption.
And it don't make any sense because that's kind of like a major thing, right? Because like Sasha Duncan don't look into her lover and who her family is. She did know he was sleeping with his auntie though. She did know that.
She did, but didn't they go to assassin school together? Remember?
They all went to the same, both of them, because she was the head of the class. Yes.
Right. So she should have known that he was connected to so and so, right?
Again, she knew he was part of the cartel because she knew that he was sleeping with his auntie, and I guess she was okay with that, like whatever's. But like he didn't know that she was a Duncan and that he was trying to kill the Duncans. Like he didn't know or didn't care or didn't tell her. Paris also went to the same assassin school, which you find out is also referred to as a finishing school. When she like pulls out her pistol and takes down like 5 dudes in a junkyard with pretty easily. So I'm like, oh, okay. So she's like, not only is she beautiful, but she's also a expert killer, right? Well, until she has to go save her brother, who was handed over to the cartel because he's the gay one. So then like LC was like, well, he's the expendable one. So he's handed over to the cartel. So she flies out there. This is okay. So Paris again, very beautiful woman. She's always wearing some type of sexy something. All short dress, tight this, breast out most of the time. She's wearing this tight leather dress with her chest out. She wears this dress onto the private plane. She gets to LA, she's still wearing the same dress. She wears this dress and the high heels, this tight leather outfit, when she's doing surveillance at the cartel house. You would think that she would wear something sensible in case she has to, get into a gunfight.
That is sensible for her.
Then she goes to the club to save her brother, who as a hostage is allowed to go to the club. Mm-hmm. I don't understand what hostage school these people went to. But anyway, she's wearing the same outfit. So she's wearing club clothes while she's doing ops, okay? Then she gets into a gunfight and for some reason is unable to kill 3 people with a machine gun. But even though she's a trained assassin, this becomes a thing. Her and Sasha and London apparently all went to the same murdering school, but none of them know any kind of hand-to-hand combat. If you take their weapons from them, they are useless and they're just staring at you. It just irritated the mess out of me a lot. I'm like, so I was very like, what the hell's going on? Anyway, so Orlando is like the ghost St. Patrick of this show with the fake ass tattoo on his back and the painted hair on his head. And I'm like, this is too much. Toothpick constantly in his mouth. I have no idea why he's always sucking on that toothpick. That's also getting on my nerves. But for some reason, he meets Ruby, one of many hoes he's sleeping with, because he can't be with a regular woman because women are a complication. And we never get into the backstory of why women are a complication.
Well, I think we see why.
You see why he's a complication. So he falls in love with this woman, gets her pregnant, and then he's too busy fighting a gang war, and he doesn't explain to his lover / hoe that like I'm a drug dealer. I got things going on. So apparently, she thinks this is just a mild mannered man who just treats her bad and don't have time for her.
First of all, she came from the same, I hate to say whorehouse, brothel, whatever, club that
Orlando frequents often.
yes, that's where he get all his girls from, right?
Yes.
They know his family. He said Uncle Lou bought me a subscription to this place at 21.
Uncle Lou, yes, bought his first whole subscription.
So I'm sure the madam and all the girls know, oh, the Duncans, this, that, and the other. I don't believe Ruby went over there thinking this dude is a car salesman. I don't believe that.
It don't make any sense, man. Oh, by the way, her brother, played by Malik Elba, in the worst, absolute worst Jamaican acting I've ever seen. I mean, only Miss Cleo can be compared to Bad or Sister Mother in Ruthless. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who did it worse. I'm not sure. I want to go this one. I want to go this dude did worse than the Sister Mother. I want to say
pretty thick.
it was
like if there was one more blood clot that came out his mouth, I was like, okay, Malik, you see, you've been studying.
Stop it. Like, who wrote this shit? To stop it, bro. You don't need to be Jamaican. But then Terry was like Ruby is in fact real Jamaican. I was like, okay. But he don't need to be Jamaican. Not that kind of Jamaican when he can't pull it off. Also, why is she hoeing when you got a successful drug gang you're a part of? Why are you prostituting yourself? This doesn't make sense.
Maybe that was her way to stay in the U.S. or something. I don't know.
It doesn't make sense. Your family, your brother is doing pretty well from a criminal perspective. I mean, he has a pretty good life size organization. I mean, so it makes no sense. Like, I mean, that to be like, I just want to go out there and hoe for no reason. And I'm like, and then
wanted to make her own money.
How about you make your own money in the drug game?
Pretty, you can get shot.
You can get shot being a prostitute.
Yeah, but it's not as bad. Like, you can meet a nice man that gives you shopping money and takes you in.
She watched Pretty Woman too many times. Yeah. That's what I wanted to see. I want to see her, like, she was watching Pretty Woman with Julia Roberts, and she said, one day, this is who I wanted to be, to find a nice businessman that would take care of me and love me despite of my whole past.
It's like a stepping stone. You strip, you meet a baller in the club, you become the baby mama, then eventually the wife. It's like a...
When you don't have options, not when you come from a family with means. It just didn't make any sense. Then anyway, so they never explain why Orlando just can't be with a regular woman. After he falls in love with Ruby, and then she marries the last Italian standing, Vinny, whatever, from the whole Italian family that got killed. Oh, I'm sorry, Harris. We found that Weasel Harris is actually the son of the Italians that are trying to kill the Duncans in season 1. So his brother, really his stepbrother Vinny, now is the wife of Ruby, who's carrying the baby of Orlando, and now she named the son Vinny. That's just disrespect. That's all kinds of disrespect. Then Orlando goes back to the hoes. I'm like, did you not learn anything?
But when he tried to screw a regular girl, what happened?
No, hold up. So then he starts sleeping with one of his employees, and he told her up front, I do not have sex with my employees. They got furloughed, and she's like, no, I'll take it now. And then he's like, I told you I don't have sex with my employees, so now that we're back to work, you need to step off. And now she's stalking him, which means she's going to join Alexander when he becomes the big bad. And she's going to be the scientist that's going to help them try to produce heat. That's what that's going.
You know what?
Yes. That's okay. That's exactly where that's going.
Yeah, because she knows part of the formula.
She knows part. That's more than what Alexander has right now. So that's happening. And then his daughter also is an assassin. Played Sage, played by Brandy Evans, aka Mercedes Woodbine, who she is committed to her craft. Like, I gotta say, like, if I didn't know she was on P-Valley, like, I would think this is what she does. She did the action stuff pretty well, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and the dialogue seemed believable. She has some serious white ass teeth. Like there's some white ass cap, like bleached teeth. I couldn't. It was hard to watch her talk without seeing the shine coming out of her mouth. But then I also was like, she's wearing these tight ass outfits, and once again, her chest is out, which she's supposed to be doing missions, and that takes me back to the misogyny and sexism of this show. Like, there's a theme across this show that women are as much as women are the assassins. True, you got Sasha, you got Brandy Evans now, you got Paris, London, depending when she's not being beat by her husband, but all these women every single time, even the woman that guards Consuela, these guys put these women in these unbelievable, unnecessary high heels, chest out outfits and demeans them to me. Like, this is not okay. Like, I'm like, because the men are dressed up in full black. They got the wannabe SWAT gear on, or the leather jackets. They're not walking around in fucking wife beaters going out there trying to do missions. They're not walking around topless, when they're going into battle. Like, it is sexist what they do to these women and make them wear these outfits.
Sebastian never wears a shirt.
Well, he ain't never fighting either. I mean, he's a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah, he did say that.
I'm talking when they going into war, when you know what. Okay, so Paris and Sasha were planning. They were preparing to defend their family with.
Remember?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were preparing to defend their family. Sasha was already in some underwear. They suited up for the mission and they ran around in booty shorts and high heels. I was like, what are we doing right now? Even London, who was in the bed, when Paris is like, hey, we got a mission. I need you to come with me. She's wearing a club outfit. You can see her breath. I'm like, what is happening with these outfits and these women? You know who only one who doesn't do that? Chippy. Like, Charlotte is like, you ain't doing that shit to me. Charlotte Duncan's like, I'm sure as an actress, she was like, no, I'm a grown ass woman, and that would not be me. And I was like, that's the only one who gets any kind of closed respect. But for the record, she ain't kicking. When she and LC were out there defending themselves, and I was like, this is some Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They actually used. I was like, it was a bit much. I mean, Charlotte is always a bit much. When her ghetto moments come out, when she's cussing and slapping people around, too much. But when you like it? She's like, pew, pew, pew. I was like, what? I was like, just give me a gun. I got this. I was like, they're a team though. They're a team though. They're a solid family, and I respect that. I'm waiting for LC to have an illegitimate child coming around. I need it.
No.
It needs to happen.
Chippy will kill him.
It needs to happen though. Season 3, I need to see the LC, since he was sleeping with Donna before Charlotte stole him. I need to know that he was swinging it out somewhere to some other light-skinned woman out there that one. You know how I feel about this, man. You know how I feel about this. I mean, I was happy that Ruby was dark-skinned Jamaican. I was happy with that. But most of these men still got that light skin. They're still color struck. That's facts. Even Rio, the one man he wants to get with, is lighter than him. Sebastian is like the lightest of the lights, and that's what Rio wants.
And Paris likes the light skin Latinos.
That's what I'm saying.
Now Sasha, she got her little brown bow tie wearing brother.
Oh yeah. That's true. I was like. But I was like, what we saying, man? What we doing with this? Donna got shanked 1, 2, 3 times by Tretch.
Where his UDS.
Oh, the product placement. Hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
UPS big as fuck on Tretch's chest.
It was UDS.
Like say UDS?
Yeah, it's a UDS.
Oh, my fault.
You can use UPS for copyright, I guess.
The legit iPhone though was used. You can see when they had the phone. Like, they want to make sure you got that iPhone and the Mac that Paris put her goodbye letter on. That's legit Mac. Then LC was like, make sure you transfer my money to Wells Fargo. I was like, this is a bit much.
And in the will. Remember, Uncle Lou was like, you can have all the assets in my Wells Fargo account.
I did not remember that, but that's a good one.
Did.
When Charlotte smacked the shit out of Sonya and told her she had to get up out there, she called her a Uber.
Mm-hmm.
She said, or Lyft, whichever one you prefer, but you getting the hell up out of here. What should have happened? Sonya is too much like Junior, bro.
It's not that serious. He could have laid low for a week or two till he either went back to jail or got killed.
Or just get this woman a divorce. Like, give this woman some time to file her paperwork. She didn't even do that.
Remember, she came to him with the papers. They weren't signed though.
She made no effort to submit. She's like, could we talk? Submit the paperwork to him and get this thing done. Like, why are you? That's true though. Why are you dating any man, not telling him your marital status? Why don't you ask Junior? Also, of the two chubby people that they are, so Sonya and Junior are the two chubby people in this show, and they're constantly talking about food, which is also a stereotype. I feed my man. I keep him fed because you're a big girl, and that's not okay. Remember, she's the one making the cake for the food for the final party, right? And she's like, "This is a family recipe." You don't see Paris making that shit.
Icing. I've never heard of no family icing.
Icing. I was like, "What are you talking about, girl?"
Oh, it is a sugar and
it's some food coloring and shit. Like, it ain't that hard, but she's like, "This is a family recipe because we eat." But I thought you said you didn't have a family, right? You said the only family you got is Junior, right? So I'm confused. Like, what family are you talking about? You mean it's your recipe? I was like, come on, man. Why? And then Bernie, the stereotypical Jewish man in this show, always wearing his yarmulke, always trying to get over on people with business. He owns a diamond store because he's Jewish. I was like, this is too much. Like this stereotypes is a bit much. The cartels, very stereotypical.
Yeah. If Marco said siéntate or Cali, what did he say? Cállate?
Yeah.
Like he just kept saying the same thing over and over. I'm like, is this the extent of your Espanol?
No, I mean, there's a few words they figure Americans understand.
I know, right?
So I was like, but Juan, aka Pancho. I was like, oh yeah, Power. All right, Power. I was happy to see Pancho back in here. Then he's best friends with LC. They're not the same age. I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, man, we tight. Like, no. You and your uncle, your uncle and him should be that tight. They're about the same age.
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, man, my best friend, and now he's sleeping with Consuela, who I guess is dead. I mean, I guess she's dead as fuck, man. I was like, I didn't think Alejandro would not. I thought they would show her death,
right?
But I guess she is dead. But somehow he fell in love with the woman who could barely cook.
Right.
Remember, she was like, the sex is good, but I don't cook. They do a bad job showing how long time span. Because how long has Sonya and Junior been together that they like, I will die for you. Let's fly to.
All these relationships are like, I love you. I'm willing to die from you. Like, what?
How long was Sasha I knew her very specific wing order was gonna be something. Like Terry and I were like, they're gonna go to that wing place, give the order. Somehow that's gonna be assigned to the Duncans, which really never turned out to be nothing because they never actually found. That's not why they found her. Actually, it was a sign, but it wasn't the key piece of evidence that pointed them in the right direction. Actually, also once again, Paris fucking up. So Paris killing Miguel started the war. Paris not listening and going after Xavier at the house when Orlando told her not to is the reason why Sasha got kidnapped. But she fell in love, right? So that's really, she should be thanking her really because she didn't get hurt. She actually fell in love.
Oh, we'll see how it goes. Who was the dead guy in the truck? When Brother X was getting the box out of the truck, there was a dead guy back there.
Oh no, they're just saying that's where he got the UDS shirt from. That's what they were saying.
Oh, he killed the delivery guy.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that was just a sign of that.
Okay.
Let's talk about the sex club because this kind of got on my nerves. So when Sasha and London go looking for information on Xavier, one, they go to a junkyard. London crushes some man's balls, which again shows her that she is capable of defending herself until unless his hair is beating her, then she can. But then they get to the guy, and the guy says Xavier's the right-hand man is a guy named Brother Adam. Brother Adam likes to go to this sex club every week and gets beat by this Asian woman, right? Sasha, for no reason, says, oh, I go there all the time. Because you know she has a sexual fetish of being whooped and spanked, that kind of stuff, right? So I'm expecting the next scene is going to be Sasha in London. No, it's Paris and London. I'm like, why is Paris here? Paris got the twins on leashes, walking them through this club. I'm like, why is Paris here? Then they used it again. No one verifies IDs or nothing, but they go to the sex club. They happen to find this Adam with this big old mask on. So basically, just a tall black man with a mask on his face. They have no idea what Adam looks like. Let's just get that out established right there. So they really don't know who they're looking for, but they see a black man with an Asian woman. They walk up to them. The Asian woman, they do the talking. They get hold of Adam, and instead of beating Adam like they could have as trained assassins and getting the information, the twins come in and beat him. You never see Adam again. On top of that, X don't even know Adam is missing because Adam's not his right-hand man. Elijah is his right-hand man. So I'm like, what was the whole point of any of that?
Just so they can introduce a sex scene club. Sex club.
I'm like, what? Because, like, I mean, Elijah was the go-to dude, and he was the one with Sasha. And Sasha had him wrapped up.
And what was the X card? Remember he was killing people and put the X card on him?
That never. Oh, because he's Xavier.
Yeah, but what?
I guess again, maybe they watched Power and saw the tarot cards and was like, we want to be like that. I guess I don't even know, but like that never turned. They never did it again. While the other people that they killed.
And he killed like one of the mobsters. So that didn't blow back on them?
That never got explained why they were killing people in the first place. Like I thought they were trying to like take somebody's territory. That never got explained. I don't know. They killed some people for the.
Were they? They weren't drug dealers or anything, were they?
No, they were part of the Assassins Guild. They were trained assassins, a part of the Assassins Guild. That's what they were. That's why when
Do you get a card with that? Do you get a membership card?
I guess I guess you pay your dues and you're just part of the crew. Like everybody somehow trained assassin because Brandy Evans, she's part of the Assassins Guild, trained under the Muslims. Because remember, senior brother, whatever, the head brother Muslim, he's like, huh?
Brother Minister.
Brother Minister was like, she's one of mine. She went to the school. So did she also go to the same school as Paris and Sasha? Or this another the school? Like how many Hogwarts schools for killers and hoes do they got?
I don't know.
And then everybody got a killer woman in their family. So the new threat, anyway, the new threat is Alexander, okay, and his wife, who's killing people to get stock, who's killed at least 4 scientists trying to reverse engineer heat, and now he's focused on the Duncans. Actually, Miguel, is that Miguel, the Mexican dude in Mexico, the cartel, the guy in the wheelchair?
Marco.
Yeah, he wants Marco dead for disrespecting him, but Marco's gonna hook him up with the Duncans. Ultimately, that would be the new fucking war. When Charlotte was like, "We're at fucking war," I'm like, "Oh man, this is gonna be their thing. It's instead of Rico, it's war. Like that's what it is. Until the law comes after him, and then it's gonna be Rico. They're gonna be like, "Oh shit, we got Rico coming at us." Mentioning your past jobs, Elsie Duncan is played by what's his name?
Ernie Hudson.
Bernie Hudson. Like this is I'm fact that Ernie Hudson actually got a role where he's in charge. Like he's like a big man in this show, and I'm very happy for him. I say that because for some dumb reason, he and the writers thought it was necessary for him to mention Ghostbusters. Like, are you afraid of ghosts? I ain't afraid of no ghost. In fact, I call myself the original Ghostbuster. You are not the original Ghostbuster. Eddie Murphy was supposed to be the original black Ghostbuster. You were second because he didn't want to do that shit. So you should not be putting that in your script, bro. Like you look silly.
Yes, he was the black guy.
Which they edit out of the made-for-TV version because he was not supposed to be the dude. I'm like, you got other things on your. You should not put that on your credits. Like, remember me as Ghostbusters? Yeah, we know you're from Ghostbusters, man. He did the same thing in LA's Finest. He did a Ghostbusters thing in that. I'm like, dude, let's move on. Okay. But that being said, there's Alejandro was the leader of the Mayans in Sons of Anarchy. I mean, that's when I saw him. I was like, oh shit, it's the Sons of Anarchy dude. I'm like, he should have rode up in a motorcycle. He don't have to say Sons of Anarchy, but if he would have rode up in California, a Mexican dude on a motorcycle, I would have been like, Sons of Anarchy. I was like, I get you. I get you. Or have some kind of Mayans calendar or something somewhere. I would have been like, that would have been a fair reference. That would have been a fair reference. I would have been like, okay, I get it, man. Because you stereotype. You and Poncho, you play thugs. That's it. Like you're not playing father next door. You're not playing CEO of like an energy company. Like you're either cleaning up grass or you're playing a gangster. Or a gangster that cleans up grass. Huh?
Mechanic back in the Italian Job.
He was?
Hmm?
Oh, damn. Well, that's nothing Latinos do. They get the cars too. It's stereotypes. That's not right. That's not right.
At least they ain't cleaning up houses or nothing. Or, you know.
But it's mechanics, yard work. Oh, speaking of yard work, so when you realize that Alejandro is still alive, he has gray hair and he's all disheveled when he's walking down the street like Bill like like David Banner on the road. He gets picked up by some random Latino dude with a hat and a water container. By the time he gets to the city, his hair is colored, slicked back, and he's wearing a suit. I'm like, when did you get all this? And now all of a sudden he has a go-to like henchman. Like they are a team, like ride or die. I was like, I need to know the story. Like I need to know how this happened. And then you meet Alejandro's sister, who's also a killer.
Of course.
But Consuela don't know what his sister looks like. She pulls the knife on her. She don't go, oh shit, Alejandro's sister. She's like, hey, who are you? Please don't kill me. That's your sister-in-law. Professor X, I'm sorry, Brother X, aka the Tretch, goes after Junior Duncan and his whole family because he's sleeping with his wife. I understand. You do no research on these Duncans to find out that they're drug dealers who have basically knocked out every other drug supplier in the world. Like, you don't do any research on who you're about to go fuck with? So you fully appreciate what the magnitude of the situation? No one, Paris does not do, what's his name? Niles, right? Her boy. Paris is a trained killer, part of a drug family. She meets a guy named Niles, who's been boning him for a very long time when Rio's not there being the unnecessary third wheel. She makes no effort to figure out what Niles does for a living. Niles makes no effort to figure out what his love interest does for a living.
And it's interesting because even Elijah, he said, I knew you were a Duncan because I've been surveilling the Duncan house for 3 months and I've seen you coming and going.
Elijah is the only one in this entire show that does any kind of basic research and knows who he's messing with. The only one. Maybe Islam teaches you that, to be like educated, informed, and know what you're doing.
Because again, he was trying to get out of the hood on a scholarship and he got arrested and falsely accused, and his mama made him confess.
Baxter's got to pay. Anyway. Hey, but you know what? 2 points for him and the writers, really. That it was an academic scholarship, not a sports scholarship. If he was trying to do basketball to get out the hood, I would have been like stereotype. But he's like, I was a smart man in a bad situation in a bad neighborhood. But like, at least he was smart. He was trying to think his way out the hood. I give him credit for that. I was not prepared for that. I was hearing I was a baller. I thought I was about to go to the NBA. I was running off the court.
Maybe if he was taller, they probably would have took that approach.
And he would have balled. The guy with an eye patch was a baller. And then the fat dude who was wiping off the windows. The fat chubby guy that was wiping off the windows. London's would end up going to prison, and now he got recruited by the Muslims. Hilarious. I love the consistency though. The fact that they brought that dude back was absolutely perfect. The
And
guy
what
from
handled that herself? Remember, she's fighting with the guy, and she was acting like he was like about to harm her,
yeah
and then the Italian that guy came in
yeah.
to save her. And again, she did no research to know that this is Tony from the Italians.
But their family is currently fighting. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the guy from the Have and Have Nots, though. Her short-lived lover is the financial advisor of Hannah and Catherine on the Have and Have Nots. Also, the doctor that Sasha was boning to keep her sexual addiction somewhat under control was in fact Oliver, who's currently playing Oliver, the glasses wearing nerd, maybe gay dude, I don't know, on the Have and Have Nots, who's working with Landon. It's amazing what glasses and swag can do for you, because I was like, this dude, like on this show, like this doctor got some swag to him, but on Have and Have Nots, absolutely not. Bi or gay Sebastian, it's just over the top. And I didn't realize until Stacey pointed out that was the lover in Here We Go Again.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Did his bid in prison, he came out and got into the club scene and started doing drugs.
I was like, what is happening? I was like, I knew I recognized him. I was like, but this dude is too much. I was like, what show is this? I was like, oh yeah, it was Here We Go Again, because that show got canceled. So he's like, I will be a possibly gay club owner with two white girls that walk around looking like literal snow bunnies with their lips being white, and it's just too much.
White eyebrows, white eyelashes.
They only spoke once.
Yes. She was like, "Hey, daddy," or didn't they call him daddy? Or
yeah. Look, we're going so. I was like, oh shit, they talk, and they pulled guns on Alexander. He was like, I take no disrespect. Again, his daughter's an assassin, so Brandy will be. I'm sure will be tasked one day to not. Who's his son? I thought Sebastian was going to be his son, and I still think that, but no, not now, because he wants to kill the two women. I knew his kids were going to be important because he's going to have Sunday dinner. We only met one of them, and that's Brandy, Brandy Evans' character.
It'll probably be somebody that Paris meets in Europe.
So Paris going to Europe is interesting because now the actress is playing Batwoman in the CW of Batwoman season 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wrote her off.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, this way, I don't know if that was on purpose because she got the job, or they just wanted to do something different with the character. She was a loose cannon. I mean, she is responsible for a lot of bullshit they get into as his family. So that's actually good for many reasons. But this way, she didn't tell Rio, the guy who he feels like he can't live without his twin. Like, how do you not tell your brother that you're going to Europe, for the continent, for unspecified amount of time?
Like Australia.
For the record, Stacey had to educate me that Australia is a country and a continent. I thought it was just a country, but now I know. But yeah, anyway, yeah. So she's gonna be on that show because she is a open bisexual woman, which is important because CW wanted a LGBTQ representation for Batwoman, because the original Batwoman was a lesbian, and when she left, they had to replace her with someone of equal representation. So Paris qualifies because she's bisexual. So and she's a good actress. I don't know. I didn't watch the show. I'm not gonna watch Batwoman. I didn't watch the first one. I ain't gonna watch the second one. But just because she's black, you ain't getting me just because she's black. And she's a criminal. That's another thing. Side notes: people are upset that because somehow the second Batwoman is black, that all of a sudden she has a criminal history.
Huh?
So this Batwoman is a mercenary gun runner or some shit who decides she's gonna fight crime and be the new Batwoman. She's not a billionaire genius that just decides to help Gotham. She's a criminal who wants to do better with her life. At least she's not playing basketball. I mean, it's progress. Um, yeah, my bad. I believe so. Threat wise, so they fought the Italians to an extent. They fought the cartels. Now they're still dealing with the cartels. I would like them see. I like to see them deal with the triads because usually when they talk about drug organizations, the Asians are usually represented by the Chinese or I think Japanese triads. I think.
So we're the Asians from season one. Remember the guy did the Harry Carey? Tim.
Also, yeah, he did the Japanese ritual suicide, which is also stereotype. But go ahead.
Oh, they were Japanese, I'm assuming.
Stereotype. They're just supposed to be Asians. I'm sure they didn't get to specificity.
Okay. I was just wondering like which Asian were they?
It's just
Okay.
Asians. I'm sure they didn't try to get down to the different versions of Asians. They're just like, look, he has the eyes. Let's just have him stab himself. It's fine. They won't. It's fine.
Dishonor.
You're right. It's like a sign of honor. They're like, you saw this dude like 2 times in a scene, and all of a sudden he has to kill himself for honor. Oh, that's the thing I wonder. So when the Duncans decide to go after their enemies, they send Nevada because he's the technical brains of this organization to go to the library to get the fake book that has thumb drives with the names of all their contacts, which has all the dirt on thumb drives. Stop. At least they had thumb drives because Bernie had folders. He had an envelope. Remember, he gave the envelope.
Old school.
Oh, I'm like, what is happening? Like Nevada, who's like, he's 15 years old, knew 23 ways to kill someone. He's sitting up there with his grandmother as his uncles and are beating the shit out of this dude for sleeping with Paris. He's very well versed on drugs. He's the one that helps. The boy is the one, not the women. It's not Charlotte's. It's Nevada that convinces LC that this heat thing is a viable investment because he knows his IQ is 170. He taught himself 5 languages and he knows how to hack computers.
Mm-hmm. And he also agreed with London's proposal for her marijuana venture.
That's right. Mm-hmm. He was the one, a 15-year-old that got the AC. Like, you know what, daughter? Since his 15-year-old kid told me you're legit, you legit now. Because I wasn't listening to you because you're a woman. But I was like, you know what, our grandson, I got you. His dad, Vegas, is in jail for a crime he didn't commit. We still don't know what that crime is. But they can see him at any time he wants. I'm not even sure why he's even in jail. He can reach through the bars and touch his brother Junior to be like, you need to get your shit together. I thought you were in prison. Like, what's going on? But apparently that's going to be a backstory. The legend of Vegas and how he kept Consuelo alive and couldn't figure out what condoms were or whatever. So now you got a baby. You got to take.
You got time for that.
Orlando got random babies. LC needs to have a random son, huh?
We don't need this to be our house divided.
I need it. I need to know. I need to know. He cheated on. He already had a two-way relationship between Donna and Charlotte. I need to know there's another dark-skinned woman somewhere that
stepped in and took Donna.
Huh?
I said his brother stepped in and took Donna.
So. No, Donna married the brother to make him jealous, as we were trying to understand the story.
He still took her. She said, "You're the only woman I ever loved."
Oh, so he was out there boning all those women with the Italian dudes. So let's not go that far, sir. One, he's dead.
Boning other people too. Remember?
Yeah. Oh, so Uncle Lou is dead and the only one that got a funeral of any sort. And he was killed by somebody named Michael Diamond, who Orlando met at the Hoe Club. Let's back up to the fact that Consuela was able to easily invade the Duncan mansion after the black folks got a white dude to hear all this security, right? They were prepared. Junior was out there putting people on their posts. They were ready for any kind of invasion. They had all kinds of sensors. Anyway, Consuela and her Mexican mob easily gets into this house and holding the whole family hostage. The only reason any of them are still alive was that Nevada turned out to be her son. That's the only reason. I say that because after that bullshit, Orlando takes his loyal security crew, gives them $1 million bonuses, and takes them to the whole house to be like, "I thank you guys for looking out for my family." They did shit for your family. Okay, you need to be taking your mama out. Okay, for a dinner, because her revealing at the critical moment that Nevada was family is the only reason you're alive right now. Okay, your security team is shit. Okay.
Well, Mexicans are very good at scaling walls and stuff like that. Jumping over, bypassing security.
That's fucked up.
In their blood.
You know what?
Evaders and
Stop. You know, it would have been funny though. It would have been hilarious though if they would have masqueraded as lawn people and got into the house and then turned on them. I would have been like, got it. That's the only thing that would have made less sense than what I saw. Like, I would
remember when Sasha and the doctor were banging, she kept seeing flashes, and she was like, "That's muzzle flashes." I was like,
stop. No, what flashes that big? No, if they're flashing that big, those are machine guns or tanks, and you are fucked.
Like, she's such a trained assassin that she can see the muzzle flashes from 500 yards away or whatever.
Then she puts on the booty shorts and is like, let's go to work, and the high heels to go to that has to be the reason why she quit. I gotta feel some of these women were like, I'm better than this. Like, I'm not running around with my chest out in these booty shorts and act like this is what assassins do. I was like, oh, stop it. It was just too much. So Orlando's scientist lover is gonna hook up with Alexander. That's gonna be the new big bad. They need to kill Tretch as fast as possible. This is taking way too long. Ruby. So Orlando needs to finally go get Ruby and just kill her and take his son named Vincent. Just kill her and the stepdaddy. The fact that Vincent is raising
with the Jamaicans,
huh?
You're not gonna be at war with the Jamaicans.
The Jamaicans already dead. Remember, the brothers is in jail. It's in the hospital.
Saw what happened to the Jamaicans.
The Bumba Clots. Stop it, man. Anyway, I was saying we need to resolve this Ruby issue, and Orlando needs to stop sleeping with prostitutes. Like, he needs to learn something. Like, I'm just saying, just make some progress in this shit.
Either they gonna get back together, or he just gonna have his little curly haired friend. He saw her a few times. The curly haired girl.
Oh yeah, the main hoe's always in there. What are you talking about?
The main lady of the night.
Her name is Sexy Woman. That's her official credit. Like, I saw her on the list on IMDb. That's her official credit for the show. Sexy Woman. I didn't write it. But anyway, I was happy that Consuela went to go see Vegas to talk about their son. I thought that was beautiful. I was like, because you are going to mention the fact that, like, hey, we had a kid and I had to go get the kid because you dropped my kid off. We need to talk about, you're a terrible mother. I need you to look me in the eye and be like, I'm sorry, you're a terrible parent. Because I can't believe you dropped my kid off and I had to go find him in an orphanage. But now he's a genius. He shall come and seek vengeance. And one day I want him to his mom's already dead, so never mind. Maybe he will kill whoever Alejandro. Maybe if she really is dead, maybe Nevada will kill Alejandro in defense of his mother and revenge for his mother, so he really cared about his mother. I'm interested to see how Alejandro doesn't kill Nevada, as he's a sign that his wife cheated on him once again.
Yeah, and see him doing it like a drone strike.
I thought, you know what, it was as much money as the Duncans had. I really thought they were going to use the drones instead of just like aerial cameras. I thought they were going to be dropping like predator bombs on the brothers, which were not very good assassins. Like, these are keen assassins. We've used them before. They got killed very, very easily. I was not impressed with Tretch or any of his people that he went out. Huh?
I've heard they're pretty good assassins in like real life.
Oh, okay, I know that. Well, apparently they out there. He killed every Duncan he could find in the yellow pages. Who still has yellow pages? Like, let's just start there. Like, where did you even find a phone book that you were like, I will rip out the Duncan's page and start killing people? It's 2019, bro, or 2020 that we shot this season. There's no yellow pages left. Like, what are you talking about? If he would have did a Google search and just been like Duncan, and just run around killing Dunk, I would have took that better. But he actually pulled out the piece of paper. Was like, I killed all the Dunkins on this list. I was like, you need a new leader, bro. Like this dude's definitely off. Like, why we even have this conversation?
Why were they so loyal to him? I mean, I understand Elijah's plight. He didn't want to get ass raped in prison, so he was like, all right.
I gotta do what I gotta do, bro. Like you kept me whole, and then out of my hole. So I get it. I get it. But now you out though. You gotta be like, I'm sorry, bro. You got issues. And then he's sitting up there trying to act like he's talking code to Sasha, stroking her hair while he's playing chess, while the other dude is watching all this shit. Like, you don't see what's happening right here. You really think, how's your king doing? I will protect my queen at all costs. Well, maybe your king needs to have a new king. I would never do that, but I will keep my queen safe as I stroke your hair lovingly. Like, what the hell's going on here? Have you turned for this woman?
Fried chicken.
Huh?
They bonded over fried chicken.
I guess, man. They had Stockholm syndrome for themselves.
Huh? Remember, she was reading the book. She was like, "Oh, this Carl Weber book is so good."
Product placement. I'm like, dude, man, you're better than this, Carl Weber. I would think you're better than this. How do you put your own shit in your own story? Come on, man. He at least should get Eric Jerome Dickey a shout out or something. The late great Eric Jerome Dickey. Huh?
Is that the one that just died?
Yeah. Anyway, he had a great Hitman series. I would love to see BET Plus adapt to the small screen. I'd love to see that. Anyway, guys, this is a great show. It's a great show, great cast. The women were just treated badly. And they need to do better. So
what happened to the politician?
Mr. Pedophile?
Yeah, season 1, they had him with the 15-year-old.
Yeah.
And in season 2, he comes back and he was pitching the marijuana business.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. I'm like, I'm not even sure whether that was even necessary. Like, are we going to get back to that? And if so, why? Oh, that's another thing. Let's look at this realistically as far as drug dealing is going. If he is so good that every drug dealer in New York, at least New York, or practically the East Coast, really, has shut down all other drug distribution, that means the entire Colombian cartel should be in New York trying to kill the Duncans right now. All the Chinese people that make the heroin should be killing the Duncans right now. All these people who are losing money because no one wants their drugs anymore. Forget Brother Xavier. There's major billions of dollars of heroin and fentanyl and cocaine sitting somewhere. There people are like, why are no one buying our shit anymore? Because the Duncans are making heat. Well, we're putting the heat on them. Like, that's who they need to be fighting. All these gangs, and just like Charlotte said, these people are going to get, which didn't make any damn sense. Like, I don't understand this whole, like, we got a drug that's not going to kill anybody, so we may get found out. You're dealing cocaine. How do you not think that's going to get people found out? You're going to make people mad. But let's go down that right. That's a good logic. If I'm losing money because you got a better product, I'm going to kill you or take your product to get you out the way. Like, that's easy. That's easy villains that should be popping up. But somehow the cartel's like, we don't make cocaine anymore or marijuana. We're just going to wait for the black folks to give us the heat, and we're just going to be sellers from now on. That doesn't make any sense. They put a lot of people out of business. A lot of people. Growers, producers, transporters, all of them are just unemployed now. Because this is for the Duncans, by the Duncans. I was like, so this is for us, this FUBU, basically, what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I hear you.
You got to keep the Jews out. So
the Jews are always a threat, I guess. They're like, you just can't. I'm like, come on, this is stereotypes, man. They're like, the Jews, you can't trust the Jews, you can't work with them. I'm like, this is not okay, sir. Carl Weber, this is not okay. I'm not sure what kind of message you're trying to give with this show, but that's not okay. Anyway, we'll see what happens. They got plenty of material. They got 5, 6 books, or at least 5. I don't understand. He has a series of books on this family. But anyway, they did lose a nephew and a cousin, family wise, and a guard. So people do drop off. And a brother. I'm sorry, and like I said, and Uncle Lou.
And the bodyguard.
Yeah, it said bodyguard, a nephew, a cousin, and Uncle Lou. So 4 people so far that we care about. That we get some kind of recognition, and then they pour one out for the homie. When the guard got shot, they like remember Orlando led the crew with his fake ass hair and his toothpick in his mouth, and they're drinking, and then he leaves the bottle. He leaves the bottle in the ground, like his hand's gonna pop up and grab like this bottle of Cristal's for you, bro. I was like, come on, man.
That drew on Harris too. Harris had his hair drawn in.
Who?
Harris.
Yeah. I was like, that's
natural hairline was the grandpa. He had his real hair.
Yeah. I mean, Orlando, he takes it to a whole new level. Anyway, we'll see him again in Double Cross. That's because he's a detective in Double Cross.
That is true.
All right, got.
It was a question I had. Consuela.
Yeah. Didn't
recognize Orlando. Like, she should have known who the hell Orlando was.
Yeah. If she was fucking the brother, you should know like the rest of the family at some level.
And he was the CEO of Dunkin' Motors. You can go do.
That's another thing. They spent the whole first episode with Daddy supposedly handing the business over to his son, which made Harris mad, which got his wife smacked again. And that's bullshit because LC ran this organization from episode 1 to episode 12 of season 2. Like, Orlando did what his daddy said, and everything Orlando did by himself was under the guidance and direction of his daddy. Daddy still runs his business. And you can't, and Junior got smacked in the face because he lives with his mama, and that's not okay. That's why she was able to fly to Cuba, smack this grown-ass man in the face, and tell him to get on the plane because you still live with your mama. PSA, don't date somebody that lives with their parents. That's not a good look. It's just not going to work out. And don't date anyone that's married and think that's going to work out. Like, these are 2 things that don't work out. So both of them should say no to this relationship. That's what I'm saying. Fun fact. All right. Anything else?
Oh, I thought it was funny. It made me think of Power. When they were reading the will, and Lisa Ray was like, "What about the drug money?" And Big Mama's voice popped in my head. You ain't got no legal claim on his illegal.
They should have put that. They should have put that in the dialogue. That's definitely what they should have put in the dialogue. I thought she was gonna get killed right there, for one. Not right there at that moment, but I thought Charlotte definitely was gonna be like, this bitch got to go.
Mm-hmm.
I want the backstory on how Charlotte is the one that got LC involved in the drug game in the first place. Because remember, he said that.
Who?
Charlotte, Chippy.
Charlotte said, who got LC involved?
LC told his wife, "You're the one that got me involved in this thing in the first place."
Yeah, I need a backstory on those 2.
Yeah, I want to know how he was a law-abiding car, dealer or whatever, and she was like, "You need to get into the game." So I'm like, "So is this her drug business that he took over? Like, how did she get you involved, man? Let's when we find out he has an illegitimate son, that's what's gonna happen."
He was about that life at some point because when was it Randy and Orlando were talking, and he said something about you don't make a hoe into a housewife or something.
Yes.
And he's like, you better not say that in front of my daddy. I think Charlotte
was a lady of the evening.
She probably used to work at the club that Uncle Lou bought the membership.
It's generational.
Yeah. And he fell in love. That's why Orlando has an affinity for that.
Okay.
Year.
Okay.
And I think they met. He was like, this woman is awesome. Because he was dating Lisa Ray.
That's what I'm saying.
But maybe he like ordered a woman and the sister showed up. And then ever since then, he was like, I gotta have her. And so Lisa Ray got mad and went after the brother. I don't know. But
I would like to hear that backstory too. What was Charlotte doing before she became Mrs. Duncan? And so that would be interesting. That'd be interesting.
we didn't get much backstory on the Persian people, the Persian assassins that's lurking around.
The Iranian.
Paris. She was like, well, why does this girl have so many passports and all that stuff when she was going through Paris stuff?
Yeah.
So maybe when Paris goes to Europe, she got beef with the Persians or whatever.
Yeah, the Iranians. Yeah, so the Iranians are part of this. It kind of irritated me that that her what's his name? Riley? What's the guy's name? Paris's lover.
Niles?
That Niles could feel the presence of Orlando behind him when but he didn't see his lover / boss jumping off the balcony and watching him and Paris have sex. He didn't detect that. Neither did trained assassin Paris.
Right.
And then why did Sage Brandy Evans / Mercedes, why did she kill that the Iranians Elijah's not Elijah's the Iranians like other target? Remember she was about to shoot this dude with a long range rifle, and then Brandy was there and she shot the guy with the rifle, and she kind of like looked at her and waved or some shit, and then she ran off. Like she took one of her targets one night, and there was no explanation for why. Like I thought, like is she trying to make moves into the Assassin's Guild? Is she trying to earn her credit? I don't know.
She wasn't an Assassin's Guild.
I mean, she already was. I don't know what that had to do anything. Like I know she's killing people for her dad. Like she killed that white dude's mistress to get him to transfer the shares to Alexander. I don't know why she killed the other guy when the other lady was trying to kill him in the first place. They really didn't get into that. I don't know.
No idea.
Anything else on the paper?
I think we covered everything. Oh, Harris said something when they went to go switch Rio off to the Harris said, I always wanted to be your son, but not now. And he was saying something, it's been 8 years since my father left or died or something. So it confused me to find out that Sal, which we see later on, is his dad. So what was he talking about, the 8 years? I don't know. I thought that was weird. And then when he went to, I guess, go see Sal and there was a fight, he got hit in the head with a bottle. But when he went home, there was like no sign of bottle wound.
The special effects of the bruises were shitty. Like they just put that black makeup under people's eyes to act like that was a bruise. I was like, this is bad. It looks like bad mascara.
When Harris tried to kill LC, he had the pillow.
Yeah. He's like, whoop, hey guys, how's it going? I was like, oh man, what we doing right now? No. He put a potato over the barrel. That was ridiculous. That's how I was like, stop it. The pillow made sense, actually. The potato was ridiculous.
He's clearly not a killer.
He's not about this life.
But let's say he succeeded. What was he supposed to get out of it? Just to be part of the Italians or something?
That he was already a part of? Because his daddy was like, come be my lawyer. Like, I'm your son. Shouldn't that be good enough? But he was trying to recruit him to be the lawyer for his crew. I'm like, but that's your son, so shouldn't he be doing that for you anyway? Like your blood. It didn't make any kind of sense. It did not. But yeah, that was supposed to be kill your boss, get out of the house without being murdered, and then come be my lawyer. Also, in the first episodes, they make you believe that Harris didn't know that they were drug dealers in the first place, because he was like, why'd you make Orlando the boss and not me? And then the whole thing about you can't have somebody kill for somebody if you can't kill somebody yourself. And I'm like, well, then he's like, oh my God, like you're a killer. Like, yes, we're drug dealers. So you didn't like, then all of a sudden then after that, he was like, of course, this is a drug dealing family. So like, did you not know what kind of family you're dealing with? He had to know. I mean, London was an assassin, supposedly. I mean, he had to know what he was getting involved with, but they made it seem like he didn't. That he just found out like that moment. I don't know. Anything else on your paper?
I was trying to figure out what happened to the white lady that snitched on Sal and the politician. Remember she went to Duncan?
Yeah, they paid her off.
Yeah.
But that was it. I mean,
That
she turned sides, but you never saw her again.
Okay. I think we covered everything.
All right. So we got season 3 coming. That was confirmed on deadline. So we're looking forward to that. I guess that's gonna be a weekly show, so we'll review it weekly whenever it shows up. And we'll see what COVID does to production. Orlando being on Double Cross, I mean, maybe that's gonna delay his interest into the show. I don't see anybody else doing anything. I mean, he's in every episode, so I mean, not that this much to be filmed when it comes to Double Cross, but it's coast to coast now. He's a California and he's New York. So he's everywhere. I thought the other light skinned dude would have been in that show then. The guy from Ambitions, the one who's like in every like all black show. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I can't think of his name. Anyway, the light skinned dude. Anyway, all right, guys. If you're still watching this video, this is a long video. So if you're still watching this video, thank you. As always, we appreciate you still watching us. Have you seen The Family Business? What do you think of it? Did you read the books? What do you think of that? I'm probably gonna check out the books maybe to see how well it compares. Anyway, but if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. You can like on the video, you can comment on the video, you can share the video. We're gonna move on to other BET properties. This actually inspired me to go watch The Oval. They're not the same, but it still inspired me to kind of go check it out. I gotta see. I mean, I'm not gonna watch Brother or Sister, but I gotta check out The Oval. We got some BET movies coming up that we want to do, like the open relationship one. Some other things got to show up. Always and Forever. We need to do that. Actually, I'm gonna try to do that. Let's just try to do that this week. So anyway, you got any kind of requests? Please let us know. Thank you again. And as Jerry Springer always says, take care of yourself and each other.